It's time for Game 2 here for another set in IPL Season 1. We are back in Game 2 between EGAxslav, our Protoss player, and FXOSheth, our Zerg player. Sheth had some very, very phenomenal Zergling harassment at the beginning of that last game, was able to take the lead and slowly overcome his opponent using mass roaches in a battle. Sheth just did a great job there, and Axslav was not able to recover. We now move on to Game 2, which will be on Shattered Temple. I'm DJ Wheat. Thanks for joining us here for another game in IPL Season 1. This is the round of 16, and let's introduce our players. We've got our purple Zerg, FXOSheth, spawning in the southern position, and he is going up against our blue Protoss, EGAxslav, in the north position. Now, this is Shattered Temple, a modification of Lost Temple. There are a few differences between this map and some of the others, and I'm sure if you've been playing on the ladder that you probably are aware of several of them, but let's just point out a few in case we have some viewers that may not be as knowledgeable here about this new map. Of course, one of the big changes is that there used to be a giant cliff right here where the Terran and the Protoss were able to do some serious harassment versus various races at the natural. Of course, what they've done now is created this little patch back here with some rocks, a third base in the back. The gold remains intact, and everything else is pretty much the same with the exception of the middle. There used to be some high ground areas here with the Xel'Naga Tower there. Same thing used to happen over on this side where we saw a lot of armies really try to lay down and create sort of control here in this area. Now there is just one Xel'Naga Tower in the middle of the map, giving players full vision. However, you got to be concerned about this area back here, because if you move an army through this tall grass, through this particular path, and then over to your opponent's base, the middle Xel'Naga Tower cannot actually scout that. So you've got to be very aware of your scouting. Let's take a quick look at both bases and see what we've got here for our standard openings. Axslav will be going Gateway Psycor, something that we see pretty much all the time out of our Protoss players. Meanwhile, Sheth looks like he opened with a gas pool first build, now putting guys on gas to get that speed. And then, of course, we got the hatchery down as well. Now, in the last matchup, we saw Axslav go for a 4-gate. Wasn't able to apply as much pressure as he wanted to, expanded behind it, and Sheth, unfortunately, was just too far ahead that Axslav was not able to keep up that unit production. We already see 2 gateways going down, and pretty early, actually, considering... we got the 4th one going down as well, and pretty early considering... how far in progress the warp gate research is. It does take quite a while to research. We do have a spine crawler at the front, and this is something that I really like here, and you should take note of if you are a Zerg player. Now, we didn't see Sheth do this in the last game, and one of the reasons why is that Xel'Naga Caverns has a much more open, natural base. However, this is much more contained. It's a more of a choke than some of the other maps are. So with this one spine crawler, you're sort of protecting the mineral line, and anything that tries to make it up the ramp too is also going to come in direct contact with that spine crawler. We have a couple of Zerglings making their way up. They do find one lone sentry. Sentry is going to be able to block that edge, but since there's only 2 lings there, both of them will get taken out there. 2 lings do not beat a single sentry. Note that we've got a proxy pylon already setting up for Axslav. He did have his 4 gates down, so very possible that he's going to want to put some very early aggression onto the Zerg right now. 8 Zerglings on the way. No Roach Warren yet. Yep, there we have our Roach Warren. Just started right there. Queens at both expansions. Oh, we've got a second proxy pylon, and this is very smart. Just in case this one were to go down, he's got a second one right here. It's kind of similar to sort of tank hopping, is you want to make sure just in case your forward gets taken down, you've got a backup plan here. But I do like this composition. A lot of Zealots, a few sentries, and of course the Zealots will be highly effective versus Zerglings. Got a couple more spine crawlers coming down, which means he must be very aware of this 4-gate. He does not want to fight Zealots versus Zerglings, wants those roaches to come out, but the Roach Warren not done yet, and there are a lot lot of zealots here. Drones are going to have to come out here to try to do some damage as well. Force field's going out, minimizing the surface area. One spine crawler does go down, and EGAxslav will do a lot of damage here. Two more spine crawlers going to go back up. He'd be really great to take out these sentries here. Spine crawler goes up, immediately goes back down. There are just a ton of zealots here. Oh, and here come the roaches for Sheth right now. Is he going to go after those sentries? No. He might, in fact, have to give up this expansion right here. He's going to have to try to micro his best versus these zealots, and that is not going to be good. Force fields move these roaches back even more, and a lot of units being lost here for Sheth. He's going to take out a zealot. Let's just take a look at the count that we've got here. 6 zealots, a couple of stalkers coming into play here, a few sentries as well. Now, the sentries are incredibly fragile. We do have 4 more roaches coming out, and we do have at least 2 more force field, and this is not a good situation here for Sheth. You never want to find yourself being unable to defend your natural, and this is exactly what EGAxslav was trying to go for here as he puts the force field down on the ramp. And he might march right into this base. We have another spine crawler be put down here, but it will get taken out very quickly. Going to take out an overlord, making it much more difficult for Sheth to reinforce this army. Now, he's really going to do himself good by taking out these zealots with those roaches, using those range to his advantage. Force fields do go down, and he's got several more zealots going down. We have some links coming out. Those will be good versus the sentries as well. Roaches continuing to work here on these units. Going to now focus on those sentries. So it looks like Sheth is doing a great job recovering here in this battle. More links coming out, take out those weak stalkers. A lot more sentries are falling. It looks like Sheth is going to be able to overcome this. Meanwhile, you can see that does look like an expansion is going to be happening here for EGAxslav, but you've got to be careful. Sheth could choose to counterattack. What I'm going to guess he's going to do, though, is he's going to want to get that expansion back up. He was able to fend this off. He's going to take out as many units as he can here. He's also going to want to take out these proxy pylons to make sure no more units can come into play here. More links coming out. EGAxslav with some good control here, but he's got to be careful because it does look like Sheth is going to continue to move forward here. There are not a whole lot of units here for EGAxslav. And Zerglings will get taken out. Rest of the Protoss army will have to move up, and you'll notice that the Nexus did not go down. Instead, a Forge does go down, and very smart FXOSheth is going to back off. Meanwhile, some Lings working on that pylon, and there's that one single Zealot, and that can do a lot of damage there versus just a handful of Lings. So again, a smart warping by EGAxslav. Now, we have not seen the hatchery go down. There it is yet again, but that means that Sheth a little bit behind. Taking a look at the population count, 42, or 36 rather, for Sheth, and 43 for the Protoss player EGAxslav as he's continuing his army up. Look at this little wall of photon cannons here. Pylon in the back to reinforce that. Still not enough to put down that Nexus, but as soon as he reaches 400, I'm sure we'll see it go down. There it is. Pop. Link's going to go out, scout around the base. Also good for map control. He's going to see... Oh! Ouch! Sees that wall of cannons and will quickly retreat out. Now, just to take a quick look at the unit production, or the unit counting station. We got 22 drones to 29 probes. And right now, this is where the Zerg player wants to be really pulling ahead as far as the drones are concerned. We do have another queen out, going to spread this creep and then make his way down to the natural. Sheth has not made any units. We have a Stargate on the way as well for EGAxslav. This also becoming a very popular way to transition out of the 4-gate. If it's not successful, you can throw up a Stargate. You can get Void Rays for harassment, or just get a couple Phoenixes, take out some Overlords, harass that way as well. Sheth does have some good Overlord coverage there. And these Overlords are pretty unprotected, so, you know, it can do a significant amount of damage. Now, we're going to see drones going back onto gas. That means he's probably going to continue his production of roaches. He's also got quite a bit of gas there, so he didn't need to mine gas in a while. And you know what? That's something to consider if you're an upcoming player. You know, sometimes, I'm included there, you put down a couple gases, you get in a battle, your macro's not so great, you might have an excess of gas. Well, there's a couple things that you can do. In some cases, you might be planning to, say, get a bunch of mutas if your Spire's going to go down. But you can always take those drones off of gas, go back to minerals for a while, and when it's appropriate, go back to gas when you need to. So never be afraid to pull guys off. A lot of times, of course, it can do you good. So we're going to have another gas going up. So it's going. That means Sheth is going to be preparing for Lair Tech. Meanwhile, what is coming out of that Stargate? Looks like some Phoenixes. Do we have a first Phoenix out quite yet? Doesn't look like it. There's the first one out right there. So this Phoenix, of course, will be able to do a lot of damage to the Overlords. He can check for expansions. Great scouting. Also very good in number versus Roach armies, since, of course, they cannot... we do have the Void Ray out. Well, hello, Mr. Void Ray. I missed you. I didn't see you come out of that Stargate. So this is actually a very nice harassment tool, and it forces the Zerg to respond. We do have a Hydralisk Den going up. Was that the path he was going to take? Well, who knows? So here, of course, we can see harassment on these Roaches. Now, you'll see the Phoenixes don't necessarily have to lift right now. They're going to want to save that energy. He is going to see the Evo chamber going up. He might actually scout the Hydralisk Den as well if he gets in there. Going to go after this Queen. That was a good lift here, as Hydras will be produced. We've got 4 on the way. One Queen is going to go down. Another Phoenix comes out. That Phoenix will start to work on these Overlords while another Queen does go down. We've got a full level 3 charge here on this Void Ray, which means he'll be able to take out these units so much, and this is going to be so bad. We will have 4 Hydras coming out, but those Hydras will get lifted here by these Phoenixes, probably 2 at a time. Burrow comes into effect, and look at the amount of Overlords, down to 68 health. We do have Hydras coming out. We also have a Spore Crawler out, but he's going to have to hightail it out of there. Hydralisk may be able to catch up here to this Void Ray. He's going to want to get away from the creep. Oh, he takes out a creep tumor, and will have to give up that Void Ray, and that will actually be a very, very key victory here for Sheth in this battle. However, a lot of Phoenixes out here, and remember, he can continue to kill these Overlords. Not only does it hurt the population count of the Zerg, but instead of units, they've got to use that larva to create more Overlords. That's also 100 minerals as well. So here we're going to see another Overlord go down. It's going to constantly force that Overlord production, and you can see based off of the tab here that a lot of minerals and not that much gas here. Third base going down. Sheth is going to see that. More cannons at the front, and I do feel like EGAxslav has taken a considerable lead here. Finally, that proxy pylon is found, and Sheth will take it out. Phoenixes continue to make their rounds. Gold base going to go down here. Now, this is a move I really like, because Sheth knows that he's behind. He knows that he's got a little bit smaller army, that his opponent threw down a third. So how do you get ahead? Well, take the gold, and then, you know what, why not? Let's take a fourth as well. We still have units coming out of the Stargate. Nothing out of there right now, but it looks like one just finished. So we've got +1 armor on the way, +1 missile attack for the Zergs, and pathogen glands. And I would have to say that Infestor will be a very good addition to this already ground-focused army. Of course, you've got the Hydralisk to deal with the air. But if you can use the Infestors, of course, to keep these units in place, Blink sort of gets negated. Also, with the Infestor changes, they do more damage versus armored units. So good saturation here. We're going to have the gold up and the fourth almost immediately. Third base well underway for EGAxslav, and it looks like he might move out here. One Ling will catch this entire army moving out. How will he react? He doesn't quite know if it's an attack. He could know, okay, well, my opponent could just be moving out, taking out the gold, which is exactly what he's doing right now. But you don't want the Protoss player to get that gold as well. Here we do see the gold has been picked up. Drone harass underway. Hydralisk, are they going to take out one Phoenix? No, they will not. And really needs a Spore Crawler there. Looks like that's exactly what this guy's going to do if he ever decides to go there. We've got Phoenixes just hanging out. Oh my gosh, huge fungal on these Phoenixes would hurt him bad. And he's just not really going to react right now, so that's okay. We'll just try to chase them away. You can see we've got Colossus and extended thermal lance on the way here being researched. Colossus coming out means some Corruptors would definitely be good here. And we do have the Spire about ready to finish. More Corruptors, more Hydras, Roaches on the way. Creep spread really beginning and going out to the middle of the map. You can see Sheth now with vision. But pretty sizable army here right now. 138 for Zerg, 163 for the Protoss. So certainly an army advantage here. However, once the Zerg macro really kicks in with this fourth base going, if he can stop this harassment from the Phoenixes, he will be able to pump out an enormous amount of units in a short amount of time. Hallucination going in, groove spines, +2 missile attacks, 4 ground units, and the flyer attacks from the Spire. 8 more roaches coming out as well. Just going to take a quick look at how many larvae that we have here. Do we have any pooling larvae going on here? Not really. So that's one thing that as he gets further along, he'll want to have a lot of larvae there to reinforce, but he's just trying to get his army count up, already trying to bring it in line with the Protoss. It's 176 and 175 as he takes a 1 population count lead. Great scouting here by these Phoenixes, really denying anything from drops happening, from overlords getting additional scouting in here. You can see a big transfer of probes down to the gold, and it looks like this army is going to move out. Now, I wish that Sheth had a little bit more creep spread here. An additional queen could go a long way, but he's got a lot of infestors. Look at the amount of energy that he's got here on these units. And that will be key because he does not want the infestors to die. They will be crucial for this battle. Looks like he's going to go up and go ahead and attack this gold here, taking minimal damage so far, getting rid of all the cannons. That will open it up for Zerglings if he wants to do it. Great fungal so far, but look, one infestor does move forward. Oh, he loses another infestor, and unfortunately, Sheth caught out of position there. And I don't think that this, oh my God, as EGAxslav army is just absolutely devastating the Zerg right now. 10 more roaches, 7 corruptors on the way. But unfortunately, the big loss there, he did take out the gold, but the big loss there was all those infestors. They had so much energy. They could have done so much more damage. And if you're going to attack that choke, you've got to be ready. If he would have had some vision of what was going on there, it could have been a little bit different. But now we're just going to have this Protoss army marching down. This undoubtedly will be a GG here for Sheth. I cannot imagine EGAxslav losing this. Look at the amount of Colossus that he has. Here comes the next battle here. Force fields will split up this army. The Corruptors will immediately go after those Colossi, but as we have units reinforcing from the back, this is going to be GG here any moment. Corruptor's going to get taken down. We got Overlords that'll get knocked out here, and the unit production just cannot keep up. And there it is, GG, as Sheth loses game 2, and we go to a third and final game. EGAxslav doing a great job there, attacking at the perfect angle. Sheth, unfortunately, committing to an attack on the gold, ultimately losing his army and the game. So we're going on to the next map and game number 3.